Okay, so now let us move on with this course on Python. So we are going to learn now about the control statements. Okay, this is widely used through our entire Python programming language and it plays a very important role. So let us just start. Okay, so first I would like to tell you all some things about the Boolean value. So I just have written a basic definition so that we get some brief idea about what are Boolean values. Okay, so Boolean value is a type of data that has two possible values which is used to represent the two truth values of logic and Boolean algebra. Okay, so this is used in the form of 0 or 1. Okay, they will be giving us the value as either true or false in Python language. So then let us now come to the control statements. So these control statements are going to control the flow of instructions through our entire program. Okay, if we want to make some decisions, we are going to be used there as the control statements. So initially there are three types of control statements, that is the sequential statements, decision statements and the iterative statements. So as we know that the word sequential means it is going to be in a sequence. That means it is going to be line by line. Okay, all the statements are going to be presented line by line. Okay, then second is the decision. So decision is something which is going to have some condition, and if our instruction or our any input will satisfy the condition, then it will be in the form of either true block or false block. Okay, third we have the iterative statements. So these iterative statements are going to have some loops, that is it is going to execute a set of statements or sentences until it becomes true or false. Okay, so now let us go further. So I'm going to start with the decision control statements. Now this decision word is very common to us, like decision, like it is proper clarity what we are going to do. Okay, so these statements have the conditions. So there are going to be conditions which is either true or false. Okay, there are going to be blocks present. So these decision statements are further categorized into simple if else, nest if and if else. Okay, so every statements or every decision statement which we are going to use has specified syntax, and this syntax is very important while executing, or else you all will get some error. Okay, so first I have started with the simple if. Okay, the syntax is written over there which goes like if condition, okay, the test expression, then the colon that is present at the last is very important, it plays a very important role. Okay, then we have n number of statements and last is the statement x. Okay, we always have to remember that simple if will execute only for the true block. Okay, it means if our condition is satisfied, then it will directly give us the result, or else it will be going out of the loop, that is this statement x. Okay, which is not considered, that is why it is going out. Okay, so now let us learn how to execute this. Okay, I have just given here the syntaxes. Now we will learn how to execute it. Okay, so this is my interpreter. So we will be going to our interpreter, which is something like this, and we will just execute a simple program so that we will be like familiar like what is going to be actually. Okay, so first I will be using this simple if sentence to show you all like how does it work. So first I will just consider like I would go with something like I. Okay, first I will go to a new file. Okay, so this is where I'm going to execute my program. So first I'm going to write I, okay, equal to 10. All right, enter. Then we are going to use the simple if, that is if. Okay, then our condition. Okay, here we are going to write the condition. Okay, my caps lock is on. Okay, condition, or it can be any test expression that we know. This is our syntax. So here we are going to write what is our condition. I'm going to consider if I Okay. Okay, then the sign, and I'm just going to consider a random number, like maybe it can go with 15. Okay, you can consider any number. It is not like you'll have to consider the same thing. Okay, that is that is all according to your wish. Okay, I'm just giving an example to y'all. Okay, so now we will go with something like print. Okay, print, and then we will go with that 10 is less. If by chance it is less, then it will print us as 10 is less than 15. The double quotes what we are using plays a very important role. Okay, without this the Python or the programming won't understand that it is a entire string. Okay, so there is one more thing which will go like print. Okay, and I'm going to go with the bracket. I'm going to put this, and I'm just going to give a random thing like I am not in if. Okay, so this is done. Now we all can see that we are using the if, that is simple if over here, if I is greater than this. Okay, so now we got to execute this. So we just have to save it in some or the other file. I've just made here some files which I'm going to save it over here. Okay, these are my previous ones. Okay, so now like we have done I equal to this. Okay, now okay, now we are going to just press enter. All right, if and everything over here is correct, and we're just going to save it in some folder. Like I will just give name like we can go with the program 1 like pgm, and as it is Python, so we are going to use .py, without which a file will not be saved. So we are going to save it. All right, so it is saved. Now this is something where it is saved, and now we want our output. Okay, so for output we will be okay, now we want the output. Okay, so for output we will be pressing on the run, which will be going like run without debugging. Okay, now it runs. All right, so here I can find some error which shows that I is greater than 15, sorry, but as you all can see, I have not used here a semicolon. So this is the error which we will basically find. So it is very necessary to write these. Okay, here now semicolon was not there, that is why it showed the error. So now let us run it again. Let us just check it. Okay, so now you all can see over here we get print 10 is less than 15. Okay, so it satisfies, and the answer is given over here. Okay, so now let us go to the other syntaxes. All right. Now the other syntaxes we would go like, okay, now next we come with the if else. Okay, so in if else, this is the syntax which I'm going to use. So the syntax goes something like if bracket condition or the test expression, then the semicolon, statement 1, statement 2, else statement 1, statement 2, and then statement x. Here the statement x is included because it is in the form of an sequential equation. So now let us learn how to execute this if else. Okay, so we got to remember like in our if condition. So first, if condition, it will execute if the condition is true, or else if our condition is not true, it will go to the false expression. Okay, so now let us try to execute this one. So let us return back to our interpreter. So where I guess we can take some new file because I think it would be fresh enough. So now let us go with something like I would take like I consider I equal to, okay, I equal to, it can be, maybe it is, I'll take it as 20. Okay, then we could go, now we are going to use if else. So we are going to type over there like if, we are going to write the syntax, okay, which goes like I less than or greater than 15. Anything you can take, it is not like, oh, you have to take the same thing. We are just going to include your semicolon, okay, then enter, and our condition, if it satisfies the condition, we are going to print, okay, print, all right, 1 or I is smaller than 15. Okay, all right, and then we have another condition which goes like print, okay, all right, this has to be small, all right, print I am in if block. Okay, so then next we will be going with our else part as we have discussed. Okay, so it is going to go something like else, okay, and then we are going to use the colon. Please do not forget to use the colon. Okay, then here if it satisfies the else condition, we are going to print it as print, okay, so it has something like I, okay, is greater than 15. All right, and we go with enter, or else we have print, okay, I am in the else block. Okay, so or else we will put another condition which goes like print, okay, in C programming we are using the word called as printf, whereas here in Python we are just using it as print. So print, okay, I am not in if and not in else B. Not in else, all right, not in else B. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so we are going to save it in our sum file. So we just have to check here. I'm going to use the if, okay, I is lesser than 15, if I is smaller than 15, and this is your else part. So this is going to be your true block and this is going to be a false block. Okay, so now we are going to save this firstly. So how we are going to save it over here is we are going to press it on this. Okay, so we have to save it, save all, or I can go with the program pgm2.py and just save it. Okay, when I save it, you can see the color has changed. That means our statements are all correct. Now I have to run it, so I might go to the run without debugging. Now it runs. Okay, so here also it is showing us like line 8. I'm not sure if this, okay, this is not ended with the colon. I mean, with the this. Now let me just try running it. Yeah, okay. So it gives us the output over here like I is greater than 15. I'm in the else block. If not, then else is B. Okay. So now that's it for this video. We shall move to the next syntaxes in our next videos. Thank you.